let's now welcome in Rodrigo Faéz because we've got to talk La Liga. There's a lot to discuss, Rodrigo. Thanks so much for being with us. We're going to talk about Barcelona. We're going to talk about Real Madrid. Let's start with Barcelona because it's been a bit of a tricky week for Xavi. Obviously, it was a very important win they got against Alaves. It wasn't looking as though they were going to get a win in that first half in this game. But given what happens in the Champions League, given what happened the week before where it was that late, undeserved win, you could say, against Real Sociedad, the pressure has been on him. Is it unwarranted? Is it fair that he's had this pressure on him?
Hello, Kay. Yeah, I think that his guarantee is, to keep like the Barcelona coach because he's struggling a lot. Not only this season, but the before season, just because they win and they got the good results, but at the end of the day, he doesn't really play really well, or at least that well that all the Barca fans need the team to play. That is a tricky one, because if you look back at what he did last season, it's like, okay, Xavi won the La Liga title, and they won Real Madrid, they won Atletico Madrid, they won Real Sociedad, and they did it really well. But at the end of the day, if you are the Barca coach and if you win, but if you don't really play well, you're gonna be always on doubt, and that is what happens this La Liga season, because they don't have the results that they used to have last season. They are maybe struggling a little bit more on defense, because I remember last year they were a wall back in defense, but now they are struggling to get a clean sheet every single week. And when you are destroying that defense that you built last season and you don't have the attacking line that you had last season, the result is that now Barca are struggling a lot. They are not anymore in the first position of the table, and Real Madrid, Girona, they are ahead, and they are not playing that well. And when you are not playing that well, everyone is pointing at you. But I think that he has, the job guaranteed, because it doesn't really make any sense for Laporta to say, okay, I'm going to renew you, but in 1 month time, you're going to be out just because you don't really play well.
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? Because it seems really weird to be talking about a Barcelona legend's job safety, particularly in the following season when they've just won La Liga as well. So have there been any murmurings at all of Xavi not being kept in this job, of somebody else coming in to replace him?
I don't know. If you think about that, the only replacement that I could think about, it would be Rafa Marquez, the former Mexican international player. That now he's the coach for Barcelona's reserve team. He's one of the guys that Laporta really relies on a lot, because he came in Barcelona when Laporta took back the president of the Barcelona, and could be one of the main replacements. The bad point of Rafa Marquez is that he doesn't have any experience on any high level team. You could think, okay, Xavi didn't have that experience that you were talking about now. Yeah, sure, but at least he could coach back in Qatar a professional team. And I know that the professional team that he used to coach, Xavi, is not the same level than Barcelona. And I know that, for example, when Guardiola took the first team squad, he didn't have any experience, but he's the only maybe name that could come up now at this point of the season. And I think it's the normal path for Laporta to rely on the guy that is in the second team to say, okay, if finally Xavi could be fired, that is something that I don't really see in the near future, he could be the man. Why not?
The fans still support him though, right, Rodrigo? Because I know we heard whistles at half-time the other day after what we'd seen in that first half at Montjuic against Alaves, but that was just directed overall at the team and what they've been seeing rather than towards the coach, right?
Yeah, I think so. When you are when you are watching any Barca game, you expect something else, something more. Because I remember last year, all the people were like, "My God, this Barcelona of Xavi Hernandez looks like Atletico de Madrid of Simeone." It's something similar on the way that they were winning 1-0, 0-1 in any single game, and people were okay. As long as we win, we are not going to be that bothered that we are now, because what happens this season is that they are not winning that much, and they are playing the same level that they used to play last year. So that is why those whistles are more focused on Xavi, or even in some players that are not the level that they expected at the beginning of the year. I know that Xavi, every time he speaks on the press in any pre or post game conference, press conference, he, last game against Alaves, he blamed the press and the pressure of the media, of that lack of, lack in the team. Like, all the players were so pressed by the media hypes and the media criticism, that all the supporters were like, my God, we're not playing well just because of the media. Xavi, are you saying that to the people think? And they were, a bit annoyed or disappointed by the way Xavi was saying that in that post-game press conference. That is why those whistles, I think they were a little bit more focused on the coach rather than in the team.
Oh, that's interesting. That is an interesting point. Well, we'll keep our eye on it. Obviously, there's a bit of time for him to think and get back to the drawing board with this international break coming, and we'll see how things turn out when Barcelona are back in action when La Liga returns.